All right, I think we're good. Apologies for we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Um, can you guys hear me?
Hi everyone. Hi Josie. Yes, we can hear you.
All right, awesome. Okay, going to. All right, so this session, welcome everyone. In this session, we will be just going over. Going to do a quick recap of, on um, the variables that we touched on yesterday and some functions during, but we're going to be using the functions during the session. Um, the session is going to be focusing on loops and conditional statements to do these loops and conditional statements. But let me just quickly do the let me do the housekeeping and then we get everything started. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Uh, no wonder, could you?
Lucy is still there.
I'm still here, Caesar. I'm just trying to share my screen as it says disabled share. So the host disabled. So I'm just trying to see if Nuganda can switch it on for me.
Okay.
Caesar, can you?
Yeah, it's showing my name.
Okay, all right, great. Do you see this?
Refresher tweet.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's start here, you guys. So we're just going to clone Connor's great work from yesterday, and then we're going to build upon it. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to grab this. Click here. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to go to. This meeting is being recorded. All right. I'm going to come to my terminal down here. Can you see my terminal clearly, Cizwe? Must I zoom in or something?
I can't see your terminal. I can see that you copied the URL.
You can't see VS Code.
Mm-mm.
Okay. How about now?
I'm still looking at GitHub.
Jeez. And now, how about now?
Yes, I can see the VS Code.
All right, okay. Um, guys, remember yesterday we had to install live server, so we're going to need it today. So just quickly search here live server, and then it should come up. It should say 65 million downloads. It should say Ritwik Day. Yeah, download this one. So for me, because I've already installed it, it says disabled, it says uninstall. This is how it looks like when you've already installed it and enabled it. Otherwise, for you, it might say enable, it might say install. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna clone, git clone, the URL that I copied. I just, and now here it is, right over here. So now I'm just gonna switch it just so that we don't have a cluttered view. I just want to open the actual folder itself and have it be the main thing that we're seeing. Okay. So this is the work we were all doing with Vukona yesterday. Okay. I'm just going to, so we don't have a little bit of confusion, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to give it a new name. I'm going to rename it to app. That's all I've done. I've just changed index to app. That's it. Okay. So what I want to show you is, besides here, running things on here like node app, JS, and then we have all these wonderful things we were working on yesterday. We can also see it on the browser. So we're just going to quickly connect it. First, let's create a file in here. New file. We'll call this one index.html. That's why I wanted to change it, because I didn't want us to have two indexes. So index.html. Please forgive the lag or in communication. We're just having some terrible, terrible internet connection. Okay. First, the doc type. A lot. Okay. So I want to connect this app.js with this HTML so that we can see it in a browser and in the console. So new. So I'm in the thing, so I won't be able to see any questions, but Caesar will let me know. Okay. Okay. Let's go check it. Okay. So I want to right click, open in with live server. Okay. So obviously it's blank. There's nothing here. But if you right click and you inspect, I think on Windows, if you're on Chrome, it's Q, you press on Q, and then you get this situation. Then you can go to console, and then the things will be here. You'll be able to see stuff happening right here. Right. All right, I just want to add here the ID. I want to call this, I'm going to give this an ID called root. So I want to put stuff in here.
Josie, can you please go to HTML
Able,
dot?
dot,
Um,
here.
yeah. Your script tag, you missing a T,
Thank you so much, Caesar.
and there's a hand. You want to take
All right.
questions?
Okay,
Karab, what's your question?
let's take a hand, yes.
Karabo, you're
Hello.
live. Karabo, your hand is up. Okay, you can move on, Josie.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly come back in here. Okay. So I wanna import some of the stuff from here. Um, let's see. Just so we don't disrupt any of the stuff, but we actually need to disrupt some of the stuff. But anyway, let's just do this. Let's create another file. Let's call it main. .js. Okay. So I want us to quickly talk about Boolean values. So that we're going to dive into comparisons. So we did data types yesterday, working with numbers, uh, let and const, and why we don't use var. Then we did like numbers, we did strings, I've kind of showed about arrays, and we also did some Boolean values. So very often in programming, you'll need a data type that can only have one of two values. Things like if you want yes or no, if you want on and off, if you want, of course, the true and false. So then we will use Boolean values. So this is like these are Boolean values. So then we'll create a Boolean variable so that we can be able to. It's either I want. It's a situation where I either want a yes or a no. I want one of two values. So then a Boolean is what I'll use. It's a data type. So this type of data type is a Boolean. So that's the Boolean. So that's what I'll use. And then yes. And then to use these like okay, like and so then now let's talk about comparison operators, how we can utilize these Boolean values like is 3 is 5 bigger than 3? All right, let's see what we can do here. It says it's true. Okay, so you know this is the okay. These are the comparison and logic operators. So this is the greater than. Let's try another one. Console.log. Is 12 equals 2? Okay, so remember this one only takes the value, and the other one takes the value and the type. So these are already the same type. But let's use this one because we talked about it yesterday that this is the one we use. Equals. Let's see. Okay. Obviously 12 and 2 are not equals. Okay. 4 is not equal to 6, which should give us true, right? Not equals. Depending on what you need to filter out, depending on what the situation you're trying to create, you will use these operators. You'll play around with these operators so that you can achieve your aims in conditional rendering. Like, do this when this is the situation, or do that. This is what if and else and switch are good at, which is what we're gonna touch on soon. So let's see what this one gives us. Okay. So let me do this so that we know. I want to do that. Just want to check if it's perfect. just so it's a little bit more readable. Okay, so 5 is bigger than 3, that's true. 12 and 2 are not equal, so yes, it's false. 4 is not equal to 6, which is true. Okay, let's do just 2 more examples, and then I will also give you the floor, because I know you guys love that, to tell me. Let's try one more. Okay, let's use a variable. Let me make a variable called x. Let x equal 5. All right. So now, is x bigger than 8? So we've already done bigger than. Let's do smaller than 8. Less than. Right. Let's give it a. True, because x is 5 and 5 is smaller than 8. So we got true. So it's either or. I'm either going to get a true, I'm either going to get a false. Brilliant. Okay. Okay. Let's do a ternary operator. Something like, okay, let's say let age. Do we have age here? We do have age here. So, okay, in order to connect, we do have age here. In order to, okay, no, let me stick to this. Let's do it age here. Age here equals 35. So we can do a thing like let can vote. So, oh, just to touch on, so remember Bukana was telling us yesterday about the best ways to name variables and all of that. So one of the another like best way to name, especially variables like Boolean variables, where it's either yes, no, off, on, true. It's like sometimes the best way to name a Boolean variable is to be like a question, because you're going to get a yes or no, or off, on, true or false. So just like how I did here, I named it can vote, sort of like a question. Can you vote? Can you vote? But we took out the you, because what you want to do is you want to be as descriptive as possible, but obviously with the least amount of characters. So can vote, and then we're saying it's equals to. I want to show you like the ternary operator. So this is like its syntax. So we're going to say age smaller than 18. Okay, so this is our condition. This is the condition. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. These are conditions. These are conditions. Conditions. If this condition is true, tell me. If this condition is false, tell me. Yes. So this is the condition. Age is, what we're asking is age smaller than 18? And then we say question mark. So, okay, I want to do here. So This is the syntax. So this is what you'll get if it's true. This is what you'll get if it's false. Okay, so we have our condition. We have our variable name, can vote. Okay, we have our condition, age. So now, what is supposed to happen if it's true? Okay, I want can vote to have the string. If you're younger than 18, I want you to say too young to vote. Semicolon. Now, if it's false, what do I want to say? If you're not, yes. If your age is not less than 18, I wanted to say right. Okay. So now let's see. What is it gonna say? Okay. It says yes, because how old are you? You're 34. And if you were 4, too young to vote. Okay? All right. Let's talk about now some if and else statements. Okay? So very often when you write code, you want to perform different actions based on different conditions. Very often you write code and you want to perform like this must happen when this is happening and that must happen when this is happening. So you use conditional statements in your code to do this. In JavaScript, we have the following condition. We have if to specify a block of code to be executed if a specific condition is true. We have else. So we have if, conditional statements. If okay. So let's say I had a function called, you know what, greet, right? So I have a function called greet. Hello world. So this is a function call, I'm calling it. This is a function declaration. I'm defining the function here, and I'm calling the function here. So this is going to run. It's going to work. It's going to do its business. It's good. You have to call it. This is just us creating it. We still have to call it. All right. Let's see what we've got here. We've got hello world. So greeting. Now, let's say I only want greet to run if let's say permission false. All right. So I wanted to have permission. Right now, permission is set at false. So I can say if, let me first write the syntax. Let me first write the syntax for you. So you write if, condition, the condition goes in here, and then you have these open brackets. And then whatever you want to run if the condition is true goes in here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first one and then I'm gonna let you guys also play. Okay, so I'm gonna say if permission. So permission is a Boolean data type. I don't need to do much because in itself, it's a thing that has one or the other. So it works so well, I can just do it like this, just leave it there. There's no bigger than or anything, because it itself is a Boolean, it holds a condition. It is a condition. Okay. So I want to run, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. And just so that we know that, okay, let's talk about how the program is gonna run. So when the program runs, it starts here right at the top, and then it goes all the way down, right? It puts things into memory, puts things into memory. So this is a function call exactly like this. So this function is going to run, this function is going to run, this function is going to run. This is just going to get stored in memory. This is going to run and get stored in memory. This is going to run. This is going to just get stored in memory, get stored in memory. So it's going to go all the way down, storing memory or running things, depending on what the thing is. So now, just to check that we did pass by here, I'm going to put in a console log so we know, okay, it passed here. Actually, let's put it right, no, let's put it outside. And then we say at the end. Okay, let's run this, let's see. As you can see, this comes out, hello world. No, sorry, this comes out. You can vote. If you look here at the end, this comes out and then it says at the end. So this part, you might be wondering, did it play, did it not play? But remember, if we look permissions is false. So the condition here turned out to be false. As you can see, as we highlight, it's telling us. The condition turned out to be false. So we can't goes in here is a thing that will run if the condition is true. So let's see if we do this. So you see now, it says hello world and at the end. Since permission is now true, the condition is true. So this block can now be executed, it can be ran. So we can now have a greeting. All right. I want to show you one more operator here. Let me see. Log. Did I put a 5? Let me change this to a 6 so we can have a 5 here. Okay, so if I say 7 and then I say percent 2, first let's see what it looks like. Yeah. First, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like just on its own. 1. See number 5? Number 5. So if you divide 2, there's like into 7, it's like 3, and then there's a remainder of 1. So that's what this sign does. So now I'm going to quickly convert this into a condition. Let's say like this. Just for readability, and we're going to say if you, let's do, I also want to show you this. Let me duplicate it so that you can see what happens if they are I forgot the mathematical term. You can divide into it without any remainder. So we're going to say 6. Then we run it. So you see what happens. Because 2 goes into 6 perfectly, there's no remainders. There's a 0 that comes out. Okay, so if I say here, I'm just going to edit it and say, whatever this answer is, if it's bigger than 0, is it bigger than 0? Because it's a condition, it's a question. This, whatever this is it bigger than 0? True. It's bigger than 0 because 2 goes into 7 and leaves a remainder. So you can use this to figure out, okay, is like, can you divide properly into this without a remainder? Because if you do it like this, is it equal to 0? You should get another true. Okay, let's start with a simple one. Let grade equal 79. Okay. Guys, I want an if statement. So so let me write it here, and then you guys will give it to me. If your mark is above 79, is 80 and above, is 80 and above, you get a distinction. Did I spell that wrong? But you know what I'm saying, you guys. Okay, can I have the code, please, for to determine this? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
All right. Would someone like to tackle this? All right, go ahead, Ronald.
Ronald, you can go ahead. We can't hear you if you're speaking. Okay, while Ronald is fixing his mic, can we go to Musa?
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can. Musa?
All right.
Musa, you can talk.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Miss Lucy, on that statement, you can just initiate the if statement, isn't like if, and then you write your parentheses. Yeah, and then grade greater than 80. Oh, greater than or equal to 80. Sorry. Yeah, okay. You can just go to the body, your curly braces. Can you hear me, Miss Rosie?
Yes, I can hear you.
I
Okay.
can hear you.
So, okay. So you can write console.log and then you get a distinction within the parentheses. Mm,
All right, let's run it and see.
yeah.
Okay.
You can write an else statement at the bottom just to show that you didn't get a distinction. You might have passed but did not get a distinction.
Okay. All right, we'll get to else now. So we're running it. What do you think might be the error here?
Now, I think you have to also write an else statement because right now is only testing for that one, which is 79, and 79 is less than 80 at this point. So we don't have a statement to display if we have a number that is less than 80.
Uh-huh. Yes.
We can just
Yes.
move into
That's
it and
brilliant.
initiate an else
Which brings,
statement.
all right. Which brings us to else. So right now we just
Yeah,
talked about if. So, and if it's true, we want this to run. But as
yeah.
our participant just told us, sorry, what's your name? Hello?
Sorry?
Sorry, what's your
Nice.
name?
Mm,
Angzon Ayaz
can you hear me, ma'am?
Musa.
Yeah, it's Musa.
Yes, I can hear you. So Musa just told us, okay, this is not running because obviously it doesn't fit the criteria. But now we need to let the user know what is going on. So we
Yeah.
have an else statement. This is if this doesn't become true, obviously it won't run. So then you please do something else. Please do this. Please do something else. This is the else. And what
Mm.
should we have in our else?
Console.log, and then within those parentheses, you can just say that you might have passed, but you didn't get a distinction. You might have passed or failed, yeah,
Okay,
but you didn't get a distinction.
you passed. You passed, but no distinction. Okay,
You
let's
passed or
test this
failed.
out.
Correctly. That's fine.
Yes. Yes. So this condition turned out to be false. So we couldn't get this to run. So then the program fell onto the else. Because this couldn't run, this then will run. If this runs, this else part won't run. So as you can see down here, you passed, but no distinction. Thank you, Musa. Let's have another one. Determine if the year is a leap year. For those of you who don't know, if you can divide a year by 4, then without a remainder, then it's a leap year. So let's have a let year equal 1954, 1754. Okay. Can you guys give me an if and else statement that could help us here?
Peakanyo. Peakanyo.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you?
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. If and then parentheses.
All right. Yes.
Okay. Year modulus of 4
Modulus. Lovely. Thank you for that.
of 4
4.
equals to 0. Divide by. Yeah. Equals
Is
to
this what
0.
you want?
Yes, and then in the body
Okay.
parentheses. Okay, places. Console.log
Solar. Uh-huh.
it's a leap year.
Nice.
Okay. Else
And if it's not okay.
else if it's not a leap year, you console.log not a leap year.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay, let's run it. See what we get. 1754 isn't a leap year. Do you know a year? Sorry, what's your name, Sissy?
Pretty.
Oh, Pretty. Pretty, do you know a year that's a leap year that you know is a leap year? Which year is a leap year? Do
Try
you know?
No.
2016.
Okay.
Try 2016.
Ah?
Try 2016.
Okay. All right. It's a leap year. Okay. So it works. So it works. Okay. I just want to quickly turn this into a function. Let's say if we want to reuse it. So we can just call it, send the stuff, and then it does the things for us. So what I do is just let leap year checker equals grab all of this great stuff, put it here. I'm gonna say year. Just as I said before, function declaration, this won't run. What do I need to make this run? Because if I run it here, nothing's happening. What am I missing?
Garabo Kapola. You can unmute.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, I'm Josie. So,
Morning.
what you have to do is to call the leap year function and pass in the year.
How do I do that?
You must say leap year.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, pass in inside the leap year, pass in
Inside
20.
where?
Just do brackets, parentheses,
Okay.
and there you should pass in a year, which is 2016.
Okay.
No, you should pass
Let's
in a number.
should pass a number. Okay, give me a
Yes.
number.
Okay, it's
Give me a
2016.
different number. We have 2016. Let's try something else. Give me a different year.
Let's try let's try 2004.
2004. All right.
Yes.
It's a leap year. Okay, so we had to call the function after it's been declared so that it can do the magic that we want. Okay, two more, and then we can move on. I want you to write a function for me that checks if a number is odd or even.
Josie, can you pause there?
Yeah, boy?
I see
Yes?
Nelson is raising his hand quite a number of times. Nelson, do you have a question? Please unmute, Nelson.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
May you please go back to the code?
Okay.
If you remove line 55, will it still tell you it's a leap year?
Line 55. Let's see. Let's put line 55 and then let's run it. It still tells me it's a leap year. Why do you think so? Why do you think it's doing that?
It's because of I thought about the variables because if we use the same variables.
Okay, so this here is a parameter for the function. It's something the function needs to be able to do its job. So that's why it's here. I'm constructing the function, how it acts, what it takes in, the things that it will print out or give off. This is the whole function definition. So the year here doesn't necessarily correspond to this variable. It's just I'm constructing the function, the full body of the function. So when I call it here in line 70, I pass in a value. This value and this value, this value represents this. So I can always just add directly, or can even make up la di da, whatever. And then I can say 1932. Can pass in la di da. And it runs. And it tells us. This is just the definition. It doesn't correspond to any particular thing. It might they do look like they share a word, but they aren't really connected. Because when I call the function here, whatever I pass into it will be representing this. But I need to have this here so that people know all around the world that this function needs to take in a year. or a 4-digit, or actually whatever number, so that it can tell you if that year is a leap year or not. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you, man.
Josie, how many more
Imo-
questions can you take at this moment?
I can take 2.
Pule? Pule?
Hello, am I audible?
Just raise your voice, maybe.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
I wanted to ask.
Yes, you're very audible.
I wanted to ask. Here in we do not have to use the let keyword for parameters or give it a data type if it's a parameter inside bracket.
No.
'Cause-
No, it's standing in. It's not a really a. It's not a variable. It's telling us that I'm going to need something. I'm gonna need you to send me something. In other programming languages, you have to define the type of
Yes.
it. You have to say int year. I'm gonna need an integer. The name of that parameter is just for you to know as a developer, another developer to know what, oh, it wants to take in a number, yes, but not just any old number. It's that number must be a year because the function is leap year checker. So it takes in a year to check if that year is a. So no, we don't need let over. It's just a signpost. This function, in order for it to do its job well, you need to give it a year. Sometimes you even have lots of things, names, or I don't know, numbers, whatever. You can have more than one parameter because the function is going to need stuff from you to do its job. So you put it here and you say, this function works like this. This is the function definition. This is this function. It works like this. It takes in 3 things so that it can do its job.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
We have one
No
more,
problem. Next
Tabang.
question.
Good morning.
Of course.
Mm.
Good morning.
Yes. Morning. Yes, I have a question regarding in line number 65. I was asking is it always necessary that we should write else like else?
No, no. It depends on you, and it also depends on the user experience. See, Musa told us exactly why we needed else here, because my mark is 79, right? Which
Yes.
means that when this runs, let's say we didn't have this. Sorry. So let's say we didn't have this, right?
Yeah.
We just have the if. The if says that the condition for the if says grade must be bigger or equal to 80. 79 is smaller than 80, and it's definitely not equal to 80. So the condition can't be met. The condition is not true. So this won't run. Okay, no problem. But now the user doesn't know what happened. It did did my grade get checked? Did my grade not get checked? I don't know. There's no output for me to know that something didn't happen. And
Okay.
also, so we have the else that says that if the condition is not met, this obviously won't run. Let's so then do this. Do something else. Let's do something else when that condition is not met. So what do? We create an else that says that you passed, but there's no distinction. Basically, the condition at the alpha for the if wasn't met. So now we're going
Good.
to run this part.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't need an else.
Okay, yes, I understand that part. Now, me, I was asking like maybe we could just write console log you passed without making the code heavy, like including the else statement. Can you please go to line number 65 so I can explain what I'm trying to say?
Okay,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, can you please remove the from else? Can you please remove the line number 65, the else statement? I just wanna.
These,
Yes,
all right, like this.
yes. And can you just one again uncomment the console.log leap year only?
Okay, all right. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Yes, this is what I was trying to explain. Or like
Uh-huh.
because obviously if the code won't go through line number 61, automatically
Yes.
you exit the loop and you to just go to the line number 665.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
Yes. So exactly does that. Because it comes in here, it does this, not match, and then it carries on with whatever is still in this function. And at the end of the function, it jumps out, and then it carries on with the rest
Yes.
of the main.
Wait, Josie, can you clear a
Yes.
terminal? Can you clear a terminal?
Okay. Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
can you run the code again?
Okay.
So let me see if I understand what Tabang is saying. Tabang is saying there's no need to add an else statement. So if we run this function, for example, 2020 is a leap year, and then the console's log is not a leap year. So it's not handling so we're printing out two statements at once, which is confusing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I don't know if I'm understanding him correctly. He's saying that we don't need an else statement, we can just have the console log at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's printing two statements at the bottom and then it's confusing. So you need to handle an instance where the year is not a leap year. So if you're not handling it, then it's just going to print out not a leap year like it is now.
Okay.
That Tabang, sometimes that works, but as Caesar is pointing out, in this particular situation, if it is a leap year, it's going to do this and this.
Okay.
Whereas if it was 2021, it only does this because this condition wasn't met. Sometimes, because I
Okay.
understand what you were trying to do, you were trying to minimize the code, less code. But it depends on case by case.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm clear now.
Okay. Thank you for that question. Really great question. Thank you. Do you have one more, Caesar? Can we move on?
There's a hand from Mr. Mr. or Mrs. Miss Koza Langutelane. Forgive me.
All right.
Langutelane. Do you still want to ask a question? Okay, I can't find. Okay, you can move on, Lucy.
Okay. Can I have someone to write this function and then we can get into switches? Oh, I need to do some continue. Can I have a volunteer, please, to write this function that checks if a number is odd or even?
Joseph.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Joseph.
Awesome. Then I think we can start by saying let number equal to.
Okay, all right, okay. Joseph, so remember variables Short, yes, but descriptive. So the name of the function is called num. Yeah, try to help the programmer, the future programmer is going to be looking at your code out. What is this function
Okay.
doing? Yes. What name
Oh,
did you give it?
well, I haven't started with the function yet. I'm actually just declaring I'm just giving a number outside that we're then going to call inside. I don't know
Okay.
if that makes
Still.
sense.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right. Number. Say equals.
Yeah, okay. Then we can say 24.
24.
Okay, then underneath that, you can still hear me, yes? Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can
Oh
go
boy.
ahead.
Okay, sorry, I think my network is a little bit shaky today. Then you can say let odd. Yeah, I think I'm having network issues.
Can you hear me?
I can hear the both of you.
I can hear everyone.
Okay, I think we're back. Fantastic. Then you can say let odd even checker. Oh no. Can you guys hear me?
I can still hear you.
Then you say equals to parentheses inside parentheses num.
Yes.
Then equals to greater than
What?
curly brackets.
Is it the network? Yeah. Just talk through it, and then we will tell you if we can't hear you.
Okay. So inside the parentheses you can put num.
Sorry. Sorry. What?
You can put num inside, yes, num inside there, then equal sign greater than, and then curly brackets are on the outside of the parentheses. Fantastic. And then then an if statement with parentheses. Then you can say num is if num what's this word, modulus, num, not number, num. If num modulus
Yes.
2 is equal to 0 with the 3 equal signs. Then curly braces again, and then console log. Then console log a string saying this number is even. And then an else statement on the outside in line with the if statement, where you then say else console log this number is odd. And then on the outside of all of the outside of the function, you need to call the function, and you can just say odd, even checker, curly braces, and then type in num. But yeah. Yeah, and then you put the thingy, parentheses, and then say num. Yes, I think that should run. Let me check.
Okay, let's run it and see. It says that this number is even. Let's see. This number is odd. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're going to, we've done if, we've done else. All right. Now there's another body that is also graded conditions called the switch and statement. So before we move on, I want to show you that you can obviously nest things within each other. Okay. I want us to expand this grades situation. So we're going to use else if. So this is how we're going to expand. We're going to leave it here because I want the code to all be available to you. We're just going to carry on here. Just to, so like you can do, and we use that one as well. It's another one of these. It like to specify when a new condition to test, and if the first one is false. So sometimes you might have two conditions that you want to test, and you want to test the second one if the first one is also false. So like, let's say, okay, so 75 and above is, let's say 90 and above is A. 75, let's say 90 is equal to grade A. 75 is equal to 75 and over. Grade B. And then we'll say 50 and above is grade C. Okay, so let's just down here so we can have it because it's too far up there. We're gonna reassign. We don't need let because we already have it in memory. We're gonna just reassign it, give it a new value. Let's say 67. Okay. Okay, do you guys want to tackle this? Tackle this and then I'll correct you along the way. Who wants to tackle this?
Mulango
Function using else. We're going to use else if though. We want to showcase else if. When you have two conditions
Can you hear me?
and you want the second condition, I can hear you, to run when the first condition doesn't work. It's not just an else, it's an upgraded else. Okay. Yes, Mulanga, please direct us.
All right, so we're gonna write let grade grade to determiner.
Grade determiner. Grade score?
Yeah,
How's
that's
that?
yeah.
Grade score. Okay. Short but
We're gonna
descriptive.
equate that to
Okay. So I'm going
parentheses.
ahead now.
Parentheses. You put the grade
Parentheses.
inside.
Yeah.
And then we have another equals, the equals of a function, and then curly brackets. And then we're gonna say if parentheses, if parentheses inside, we're gonna say if grade is smaller, is bigger than 90.
Yes.
And then you put your curly brackets.
Yes.
And then in the curly brackets, console.log grade is C. And then we're gonna say else if. And then we're gonna open a condition if
Grade is
if grade
E.
just correct up there where you wrote mark is greater than 90, right? Grade is greater than 90.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then in our else if condition, we're gonna say if grade is bigger than 75 and under 90.
What's the condition?
If grade is bigger than 75 and under 90, is greater than 75, and then you put double and then if grade is smaller than 90,
Okay, so this is my parameter, right?
yeah.
This is my parameter. Is bigger than 70.
With the operator, can we use equals and 75? Equals and greater than.
Uh-huh. And
And then we're gonna open curly brackets and say console.log grade is B.
90. Uh-huh. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Okay.
And then we're gonna say else.
And then?
We can say else if, because there might be some things lower than 50. Else if,
Yeah.
and then the condition should be grade is greater than 50, and then double and sign smaller than 75.
Like this?
Yes. And then can we do
And
curly
then?
brackets?
Yes.
And we say console.log grade is C. And then I
Grade
just
is
want to
C.
correct
There's
something
two C's
quickly.
now.
I mean, grade is. Oh, the first one is grade is
Go
A.
for
Sorry.
it. Okay.
And then I just want to correct something quickly.
A.
On our operators where we said mark is greater than
Okay.
75 or smaller than 90, can we add an equal sign? Because that might be 90 going up or 75 going up. So it'll
Tell
be
me
equal.
exactly where.
Okay, so
Line
let's say
103.
line 107, where we said marks is greater than 50.
Line 107. Okay.
Can we say marks is equal or greater than 50? And can we do that for everywhere we used an operator?
So like this.
Yes.
So you want me to do this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then
And in here
mark
as well?
grade? Yes. Isn't the variable we're using grade instead of marks?
No. This function uses, this is the declaration. Remember, this is just the function declaration. It's going to use
Okay.
whatever we send it.
We give it. Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, so what's next?
We can have an extra else to say grade is unknown, and then we can have a console log outside of the function. Else, yeah.
Okay.
Open parentheses, grade is unknown. Or grade is smaller than, I don't know, yeah.
Grade is
D minus.
Is F.
F, yeah. And then we can have a console dot log outside of the thing.
Okay, sorry. And
We can
then
have a
what do you want us to do?
console dot log outside of the function.
Out.
Oh, sorry, not console
Side
dot log. We can get grade score. Sorry.
function.
No, we don't need console dot log. Grade score, and then inside the parentheses,
Okay.
we just put grade.
Console.log. Okay.
And that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's run it and see what we get. Grade is C. Do you guys agree? Is that okay with everybody?
There's a hand from Joseph. I don't know if he disagreed.
Pull through, Joseph. Pull through, Joseph.
Oh, sorry, I was raising my hand to answer the question. I didn't realize I hadn't lowered it.
Okay. Senzo? Senzo's hand is up. Senzo?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is that okay, I was confused on the matter of the usage of the marks, but there's a great variable already. But now I can understand what is happening.
Okay, so you're good.
Yeah, now I'm good.
All right, can you give us a different grade besides 67?
Can say 101.
101. Okay. What do you think it's gonna say? What's it gonna spit out?
gonna say grade is A because we didn't put the range.
It's gonna what?
It's gonna say grade is A because we didn't
Hello,
put a
Joseph.
range.
It says grade is A.
Yes, because we didn't put the
All
range
right, let's check.
on the first marks.
Okay. Yes, it says grade is A, just as predicted.
So meaning on the first piece we must put a range so that it doesn't go above.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's. Do you wanna try it? Do you wanna give it a shot?
So on the first piece you can just say and then you say marks should be less than or equal to 100.
I can't quite hear you, Joseph.
On the first piece, can you hear me?
Caesar, can you hear Joseph?
It's Senzo, not Joseph. And
Can you
Sorry,
hear me?
sorry, Senzo. Sorry, Senzo.
okay.
Am I
Okay.
audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so on the first piece, just say and
Line 100. Do you mind
Senzo, also your
typing it
voice is a
out in the
bit
chat?
muffled.
Hasn't it changed now?
Let's give.
Yeah, we can hear you now. It's better.
Okay, yeah. So on the first if you just
Okay,
add
that's so much better. I don't know what.
on the first if you say and
Is it my connection? Guys, is it me? Am I the one?
or should I just write it on the Q&A?
Yes, please. I think it's me. I think it's me. My internet is terrible. Can you hear me, Caesar?
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
now I'm typing it.
Am I breaking up, Caesar?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Maybe let's give Tolo Tswane. You wanna
I
try
added it
Tolo?
on the Q&A.
On the Q&A. You should add and marks. Okay. Like this.
Yes.
Okay, let's run it. It says that the grade is F.
So meaning the reason why it says F. Okay, so the reason why it says F is because F is the default value. Like if all the conditions are not met, then it goes to F. So meaning on the else,
This
you
is
should have
now.
maybe.
Huh? Yes, that's
So
a great observation.
So meaning on the else part, you should put like a message to say that the grade is above the total grade or something.
Okay. Okay, let's say the grade is above total. Should we try it out?
Yes.
Okay. It says grade is above total. What happens if I say my grade is 45?
For 45,
It says that the grade is above the total.
yes, it's because no condition has met that value.
But would the user understand? If the student gets this, they're gonna be like, obviously, like, I've passed, cum laude, summa cum laude. How can we make this better?
So meaning you have to add another else if that will say marks should be, if marks are less than or equal to 49 and greater than or equals to 0.
Okay. Which line would you like me to add that?
After the second else if.
Give me a line number.
Line after line number 111.
All right. You say I must do an else if. Else if. What's the condition?
If marks is greater than or equal to 49.
Is greater
Actually,
than
it's less
or
than. It's
equal
less than.
to. All right, less than and equal to 49. Yeah.
And marks is greater than or equals to 0.
Yes. And then?
Then on the console log, you'll say a grade is failed.
All right. Okay. Should we?
And then
then
you can test it the 45.
Okay. You understand? All right. Yes. So right now our grade is 45. Now let's try and run it. It says grade is F. Let's go back to what we had before when you said 101. Let's see now. Are you happy with that?
Yes, it's correct now.
All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. Now we're going to do some switch. And then after the switch, we're just going to take, actually, Caesar, can we take a comfort break for like 10 minutes? And then we'll do switch. Do we have any questions?
Lulu had one question and then we can take a break.
All right. Pull through, Pule.
Lulu.
Lulu?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're a bit low.
We can hear you.
Okay, let me increase the volume. How about now? I just had I was just trying to say we could have we could declare a variable for the symbol instead of having like too many console logs. You see, each condition has like its own console log. I was just thinking it would be easier if we declare a variable maybe called grade, and then we can change that variable in each conditional statement. I don't know if you understand me or not.
Show us, how would you do it?
Okay, so before we start with the if statement, let's declare a variable called grade, like inside the function.
Okay. Inside the function.
Yes. So you could.
Okay. Let's copy this. And then let's create another one because I want to keep this one and the one you're going to tell us. So we'll call this grade score 2.
Yes.
All right. So before you want us to have
A variable called grade.
Okay, I'm gonna say my grade, so we don't get confused because we already have a variable called grade.
Okay.
So my grade, okay.
So instead of having console log grade as A, you could have my grade equals to A on line 129.
All right. Grade. Like this.
Yeah, you could also change for line 133, but this time you say B, and then it's C.
Okay. Like this.
Yeah, and also you could change that one as well, but that one would be, what was it? Yes, and then you could have after that else statement, you could have one console log line that could print out the
Outside the function or
well,
inside the
not
function?
outside the function, after the else statement, after the else statement.
Line?
Yeah, right there you could enter and then console log so that it returns my grade when you call it.
Okay. And then?
Yeah, you could try running it and see the output. Because I think it makes the switch statement much easier if you have like a variable like that.
Okay. So let's try to run it. It's still saying the same stuff. It's actually not saying your stuff. Why is that? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still.
Should I show the code? This is all of it. Why is it not running? Do you guys know? What does the chat say? The chat
You
says
didn't
that you
call
didn't
the
call the
second
function.
function. Yeah.
All right. There we go. Is this what you like this?
Yeah, what was the grade again? Yeah, it says someone come lead.
The grade is.
The mark.
Do you want to try a different grade?
Yeah. Let's try a valid grade, like 85.
Okay. My grade is B.
So
Was
yeah.
that good?
Yeah. I think it's correct.
All right. All right. Thank you.
I uh,
Come
85 is
in, tell
B?
us.
No, it's Caesar. 85 is a B?
85 is a B.
Isn't
is a
it?
B, 85.
Isn't a B between 70 and 79?
I mean, technically, yes.
Okay. We can take a 10-minute break and then we'll be back at 11:02. If there are, well, there's still questions on the chat. But I guess Josie, you can take a break and then um yeah, I guess you can take a break
All right. Okay.
and then you deal with the questions when you come back.
All right.
Okay, guys, we'll be
Okay.
back at
Thank you.
11:02.
Let's be back.
All right, Lucy, are you back? Is everyone back?
I'm back.
Would you like to proceed? Do you want to take more questions?
Yes. Let's
Okay.
do the questions and then.
Musa, what is your question?
Hello.
Yeah.
Ms. Rosie, can you please go back to the thingy, the if statement? Yeah, basically, I just wanted to ask regarding
the new one or the old one? Which one do you want to talk about?
Let's just go back to the first one.
Okay, here we are.
I actually wanted to ask regarding line 100, 104, and 108. So, since I just wanted to know if the way you've written your thingy, your condition, will it not like cause any issues like the later stage? I know that now it's giving us like the correct answer, but then I just wanted to know if like at a later stage, is it not gonna give us in like some sort of like a runtime error or something like that? Since like I feel like those conditions on those lines, 100, 104 and 108, they have a little bit of contradiction inside of them. I don't know if I'm not like if I'm seeing it wrong or what. Because right now, if you can check, we have marks. The body will execute if mark is greater than or equal to 90. And then 104, the mark will also execute if the mark is less than or equal to 90. So we have we have both equal signs like on both lines. I don't know if you understand my question.
I totally get your question. Let's run it and see. Okay, I wanna
Because now
this one.
now it is giving us the correct answers. Like I
And
just
then
wanted
our
to know if
grade.
like
Yes, let's check it out. So let's make it 90, right? Let's see what we get. That's a really good catch. It says that the grade is A, but it's also,
yeah.
as you had said, it should also be B because it's
Yeah.
smaller than and equal to 9. Yes, that's a really good catch. So how would you fix this for us?
So I would basically remove the equal sign on less than or equal to 90, mark less than or equal to sign.
Okay.
And then on line 108,
Yeah.
where it says mark less than or equal to 75, I'll remove the equal sign.
Uh-huh. Okay. And
Yeah.
then
So basically, the only reason why I wanted to ask this is so that I should know that will it not like cause any problems like at a later stage when we're working with maybe big projects and things like that. If someone was to say like was to be working with with the project like
it could happen.
yeah, a bigger project of some sort.
Yes, the logic would have come into some sort of conflict at some point because there are two scenarios that need to be executed for one condition. So if you have a 90, there are now two conditions that need to be executed. So in a big project, yes, it could, like you could be hoping that this catches that thing, but instead it does a different sort of It gives you a different sort of output, which is why it is always great when you are writing functions, writing programs, to have test cases so that you can use those test cases to create all these weird test cases, good test cases, bad test cases, weird as hell test cases. And then you see that if I put this, I'm expecting this, and then you test it. Did you get what you expected? And then you say yes, no, you tick, and then that's how you'd be able to find that error in a situation like that. Thank you for showing us that.
Okay, thank you.
A condition cannot fulfill two different scenarios. One condition, one scenario. Thank you so much. Okay. Next question.
Nelson.
Hi, am I audible?
You're audible, Nelson?
Don't you think the conditions are missing?
What? Missing?
Our conditions, don't you think they are missing?
What do you think is missing?
Okay, change the grade to -1 or any negative number.
All right. You won't get a grade that's a negative number.
Also, basically, you are saying the user won't enter a negative number in case if we are dealing with users.
Yes. It's a grade. But if it was a certain sorry, excuse me?
I didn't hear anything. You're breaking. I don't know if it's my
Hello?
network or yours. I didn't hear
Is it
anything.
me again?
I don't know if it's my network or yours.
Oh, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me.
Yeah, you're breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What were you saying?
I was saying that our grades, so you won't get a grade that's minus. You'll get 0. But you can always get a grade that's above what is at the limit. It happens at schools. If you get extra credit, things like that, you can literally graduate with 101%. But you can never be a minus grade. Minus grades are like not a thing. So if it was a different sort of number, that is such a great thing that you showed. Like, what if you have minus? Then we'd have to have a condition for that. But since we're dealing with grades, realistically, grades don't go below 0. That's the only reason, but the quite sound. A condition would need to be created for less than 0 values.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Nelson. One last question.
We have Senzo.
Pull through, Senzo.
Am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I wanted to check on line 147.
Yeah.
Like if you use plus instead of the comma, what's gonna happen?
Okay. Does the same job.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see the output?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the index. I saw you guys try to help me with it. Yes. Let's change this to source. Yeah? Let's change it to source. Let's change this to main. Okay. Let's try to open it. Gives us an error. Let's with that. Let me close that. If we run it with live server, go to console. Okay, at least now there's no errors. All right. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we have another body. So we have if, we have else, and then switch statements. So the switch statement, when we select one of many blocks to be executed. So it's different from an else if. So like what makes a difference is like, so we can do range with if and with else if. But sometimes you just have, let's say, you have a, what? Just x, we have x. So let's do something, let's do a y. Y equals 7. We could do that whole thing if y is equal to 7, then we can do something. Right? And then let's say, then we could have an else if, and another else if, and another else if for days. Maybe for different conditions. If it's equal to 8, or if it's equal to 9, then it could do something. Or we could utilize switch. So this is the syntax. It's going to take in a condition. And then it has cases. So case 5. Do something. We say break case 6. Rather than do something, let's console. So 5. It's fine. break. I'm going to show you what happens when you don't have break. So let's have some breaks first, and then I'll show you afterwards what happens when you don't have break. Okay. So this is what happens. This is the condition switch, the condition. So here it's y. Okay. So if y is 5, you do this. If y is 6, you do this. If y is 7, you do this. And if y is not 5, is not 6, is not 7, it's not any of our cases, you do this. It's the same as what, I forgot your name, who pointed it out earlier when we were doing the if and else. And like, so there's so many ifs. So the person who helped us with this is like, so this one will be the default. If it's not this, if it's not this, if it's not this, if it's not this, then find for that type of situation where case, if it's not this case, if it's not another case or this other case, then just respond with the default situation. Let's see how this pans out. Fingers crossed. It's a 7. So a switch is great where you have, if I'm working with ranges, if I had to, when it comes to like conditional statements in programming, both the switch and the if constructs are commonly used. However, they serve like different purposes and have different characteristics that make them suitable for different scenarios. Like for a switch statement, it's generally more readable and it's easy to maintain compared to a chained if. I mean, you look at this and then you look at all those things that we typed here. So it's readable, and so it allows for clear, concise representation of multiple choices, making it easier to add or remove cases. On the other hand, so if is great for like, if your expression is based on a range of values, like our marks can fall within this range. Switch isn't good with ranges. Why is either, like if it was a grade, you'd literally, if you had to use a switch statement for the grades, you'd literally have to have case 1, case 2, case 3, case until 100, so that each case can match that thing. So because now we want to work with ranges, we don't want to do all of that. We would use an if, because it allows us to do ranges. But if it's just, it's one thing, it can either be a handful of things, then, and it's like it can either be a handful of like proper things, like it's not 5 bigger than this is not gonna fly. It's not gonna do that. It just needs to be one thing. It's either this thing or this thing or this thing or this thing. Then you would use a case. All right. Let me do one more. And then I will give it to you guys to do it. Let's do date. So we want a new date. This will give you today's date if you do this. And then we want to get the day. Get day. Remember, Vukona was telling us yesterday about embedded functions inside variables. Some variables come with their own methods, aka functions. they bring them along with them so you can use them. So date also comes with its own wonderful, wonderful functions that you can use, methods that you can use to set, to get, to convert. So we just want to get the date. So it's Wednesday. So Wednesday should be 3 because it starts on Sunday. Sunday is 0. So let's do this. Okay. Case 0. Okay. The colon goes after the case value. So we're going to say day. Sunday. Notice I'm not adding a default statement because it's days of the week. This function, which I forgot to add curly brackets for because it's a function, this function will only give me 7 numbers, one of 7 numbers. It's either going to give me a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, not 7. It's either, this is it. So I don't need a default function because I'm sure. But in situations where you might get an outlier, an unknown, things like that, so you'd add a default statement just to catch whatever you don't falls into these cases. Okay, let's see what day of the week we get. Rainbow. Ah, okay, I see what I did. Do you guys see what I did or didn't do? Can someone pull through, Cesar? Can you guys hear me?
Josie Joseph raised his hand.
Yeah, anyone, just send anyone through. Hi,
Is it
Joseph.
hi? Is it that you didn't call the function?
Okay, it's not a function.
I mean,
it's a switch statement. I don't.
Calling it, is that perhaps the mistake?
What do you want me to call?
I'm actually.
Scroll up like this.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, let me.
Pule.
Okay, does somebody?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Pule. Sorry, before you begin, Pule. So switch is exactly like if. Remember when we were up here? Just wanna address that quickly, Pule. We didn't need, especially when we were doing this check here, we didn't need to call the if part of the logic of the program. As the program goes from top to bottom, it will execute this. It will take the condition. It will run whatever needs to be run. It's not like a function where we create it here and then we call it. So if, else, same as switch, they're conditional statements. We don't, by creating them, we call them. They do what they need to do. Sorry, please carry on. Was it Pule?
Yes, yes, yes. I would appreciate if you can repeat the question.
Hello?
The question you asked, what was happening? What was wrong? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when we run our program, yes, this switch, it's almost like not doing anything. What have I missed?
It's a default statement. I don't know if it's but a default value.
Oh, you saying I should do a default statement?
Sorry? Sorry?
It?
No, you can replace one day as a default. Because if it's not either all the other days, then by default it's Saturday.
Okay. The default doesn't need a break. Okay, let's run this. Nothing. It's not saying anything. Why is it not saying anything, you guys? Let's look at it. This is the output I'm getting. This is all that we have. Someone else, please come through.
You need to print out day.
Sorry, who's that?
It's Tolo. It's a console log.
Hi, Tolo. What were you saying?
You need to console
Okay,
log.
give me the line. Give me a line number. Tell me exactly what to do.
After the switch statement, after line 196.
After 196, what do I do?
Console log. Then day. So that we can see the day.
Okay, let's see if that will do it. Is that correct? Cholo?
I'm still here. Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do we have a question, Caesar? Thank you, Cholo. I want to move on to an example for someone to do. Do we have a question so far? Can you guys hear me? Guys, I really apologize for my network. Hello? Hi,
Hello?
Chris. You can come through.
Hello, can
Hi,
we
you can come
please
through.
go back to the code?
All right.
Okay, so
Yes.
can you please go up? I want to confirm something. Instead of mentioning
Give
the
me a line
console,
number.
you see where you wrote K0 and then line number 176, day equals to Sunday.
1 6.
Yes. Wasn't it going to be much better if we started the code by console.log and then console.log and then open bracket Sunday?
So you want to do the opposite of what our friend did here for this.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'm just gonna do one, just so we can see. So it's gonna be Wednesday, because that's what the function is gonna say here. When it grabs the day, it's gonna be Wednesday. So let's do it for Wednesday. Let's do this. See what we get. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted.
All right, thank you for that. So as you can see, you can add that. You can also add, if you have more than one line, obviously you can do this. Let's do with the thing that's gonna print out. What we can do. So, just so you know what happens if there's more than one line. As you can see, if we remove the brackets and we try, let's see what we get. It works either way. Can have as many lines as you want, with or without brackets. Okay, so now let's see what happens if I remove, okay, I'm gonna remove this line. Remove this line. No, I'm gonna keep it so that you guys have it when you clone this thing. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, what happens if we remove this break? Let's see. Still Wednesday. Still returning exactly what we want. If we remove this break, it's still same. So what the break does is that if the condition is met, let's say, okay, we come here to Wednesday. Instead of it, so this is what the switch does. It says, okay, I have the day, I have a number, I have this number. Is it this case? No. Is it this case? No. Is it this case? No. Is it this case? Yes. So then it runs this. If you don't have a break, it carries on. Is it this case? No, it can't be any more cases because it's already been solved. But it carries on to take the other cases. So we add break just to consider that once it's it's of the switch. It no longer checks these cases for us. How much memory taking, processing time. So once your situation has been evaluated, let's leave the switch, break out of the switch. Okay, all right. Can you guys do this one for me? Dun, 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 dun. All right, a function using switch to determine the color of the robot. Okay, to determine the action based on the color of the robot. So we have robot, and then the robot is, let's say, orange. Can you guys give me a function? If I have a certain color, if the robot is a certain color, what does it mean? So I want you to tell me if the robot is a certain color, then it should output a certain statement to tell me if you're seeing this color, what must you do? Whoever, please come through. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Senzo. Can you guys hear me? Am I lagging? Jeez.
We can hear you.
Hello? Okay, all right, go ahead. What must I type?
We can hear you. Okay, so we are determining.
Hello? If you can hear me, you can just tell me what to type.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Awesome. Yes. What would you want me to type?
I'm gonna give it a shot and say, okay, we're gonna start off with the
Okay.
switch.
Okay, first, I want us to let's establish how many cases are there for this situation. Cases being another way for cases like how many scenarios could we possibly have for this type of problem?
I guess you could have as many as possible because there's an infinite amount of colors.
Okay, but think about the problem we have. Write a function using switch to determine the action based on the color of the robot.
Sorry, three.
Okay, all right. So we have 3 cases. All right. Fire away. I'll start typing.
Okay, so we're gonna have to start by writing the beginning of the switch statement.
Okay, got it. What's the condition?
We'll say, how do you write a switch statement again? Switch, open brackets.
Yes.
Then I can't see anything on my screen. I don't know if my screen is frozen or not.
My screen?
Yeah, I can't see anything. What is going on?
Sizwe, can you see my VS Code? Masimola?
I can't see the screen at all anymore.
Oh. Three. Can anyone see my screen? Let me know in the chat. Okay, let me try to share again. Entire screen.
Or is it me that can't? Maybe it's my network.
How's it now?
Okay, yes, it's back.
Oh, okay, no, it was my side. Apologies for that.
Okay, so then we'll say switch robot.
Robot. All right.
Cool. Then curly brackets. Oh, outside. We're here in curly brackets. Then we'll have case 0, case 1, and then case 2.
Case 0.
Case 0. Okay, let's do it one by one. Let's do case 0, yes. And then for case 0, we'll say what you call it? Console log.
Console log. What do you want me to say?
The robot is red.
Okay, so we have the color. It's just what happens when the robot is red.
Wait 1 second. Now I've gone and confused myself. Please repeat that again.
So the problem statement says, write a function using switch to determine the action based on the color of the.
Sorry. Console log red.
Okay. Red.
And then case 1 would be console log orange, and then case 2 would be console log yellow.
Let's do this. Okay, like this?
Yes.
You said I must say yellow?
Then say orange. I want to understand. I feel like I'm making a mistake. I just need to figure out where it is I'm making the mistake and why.
Do you want to give someone else a chance? You guys can
Sure.
work together. Caesar, please let someone else also. You don't have to go. You guys can work together.
Hello.
Okay, let's pick someone who hasn't had a chance. Yes, hello. I want to pick someone who hasn't had a chance. I mean, you guys have been really great.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, yes. I think the mistake is in the part where he mentioned the cases. I think they're all zero. Yeah.
Okay, what should it be?
So in line 209, it should be case 1, and line 212, it should be case 2.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then with the robot, it shouldn't
Yes.
be a string. It should be a number.
It's actually a number. It's actually a string. This is correct.
Oh, it's
The
correct.
part that this is correct. What I give you is correct. What you guys must give me is this.
I think I figured it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can give it a shot.
No, if you want to go first, it's fine. I can wait.
Cause okay. In this case, I believe that these cases should be validated with strings instead of integers, I think.
Tell me what to do. I'll do anything. Just I want you guys to tell me what to do.
Okay.
Then you
Okay,
run it
so
and see.
I think in this case, we won't be using case 0, 1, and 2. I think we'd just,
and where.
yeah, we'd have to type the actual color of the robot instead of
Be descriptive.
using the
Give me a
numbers.
line number. Give me
Okay.
a line number.
Okay, so
Tell me
like
when to type.
in line 206, if we say case red or case orange or case green.
What's next?
I think also with 209 and 212. I think these should be the colors. Yeah, so this would be orange and green. Because I think even if we use a robot dot to lower right there on the switch in 205, so that can validate the text itself. Because every time we're gonna put in a color, like we put in like orange with a small o, it will say that the robot is off.
Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think something like that.
What should I do next?
I think we can run it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
What do the people in the chat say? Is it good, you guys? Is the solution good? Yandiswa? Yandiswa? Yeah, Yandiswa. Come through. It's easy. Yeah. Yes,
Maybe we
Joseph?
should also add breaks.
Okay. Breaks. Okay, we have breaks.
Oh, we have breaks. Never mind.
Okay. We have breaks.
Can I please add something, sir?
I think it's case sensitive.
Of course.
Yes,
Come through.
Can we please return to the code? I saw something. Okay, so you see where line it is line 207 where it's console.log. How about we write stop instead of red, and then on line 211 console.log we write slow down instead of orange. Sorry? And then on red we write stop, and then on green we are going to write go. Yeah, that's all.
And then what do we do?
Can we please run the code?
It says slow down. Yes, the solution is perfect. Thank you so much. Let's see what happens if we have yellow. The robot is off. It has a color. Or even better, all right. Let's do one more, and then we'll take just a 5-minute break. Write a simple calculator function using switch statements that adds or subtracts or multiplies or divides two numbers together. Here are the two numbers. Can someone help me write a function? Should I repeat? Write a simple calculator function using switch statements that adds, subtracts, multiplies, or divides two numbers together. Thabiso? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Thabiso, you're unmuted. You can talk.
Oh, I forgot to unmute the mic. Sorry.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, can you please go back to the code?
Okay.
Yes, you can just perform a switch based on the operator.
Okay, so just like before, tell me
Yes.
what to type, what to start, exactly.
Yeah, you can start with the switch, open brackets.
Okay. Or did you just read that out loud for me?
Okay, write a simple calculator. Oh, it's a function. Okay, you can just define the function maybe in the form of just say function and maybe perform calculations or something. Yeah, and you can have the numbers as parameters and that. Okay, then you can open the braces, the curly braces after that. Okay, now you can maybe define, oh, you can also have a parameter for the operator.
I want to say ops,
Yes.
just so that it's readable, so that we don't get confused.
Yes.
Okay.
You can have your switch statement there.
All right. Switch. What's my condition?
Ops.
Yes,
then you can open your curly braces, start with your switch. Yes, you can have case, maybe plus first. With the double quotes. Yes, and your colons. And then you can have number 1 and plus number 2. Yes, return. It's number 1 and number 2, number instead of
Thank
number.
you.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, after that you can break.
Okay. Do you think I need to?
In this case, no, I don't think so.
Why not in this case?
Because maybe like and we will be considering all of the signs, maybe including the it's add, subtract, multiply, simplify. Okay, they can put in a sign maybe of like wanting to know the remainder. So I don't know. Maybe we can have the defaults. I don't know. Add, subtract, multiply, and we can have
So it
the
only
default.
wants 4 things. So it only wants 4 things.
Okay, we can have the default.
Okay,
And we can
so
have the break.
okay, so a break.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that
with the break, you are preventing it from going to straight to default after selecting whatever it is selected. Mara, in this case, we don't really need the break because it's a returning method, so we don't need the break here. Yeah.
Yes, excellent. So when we return, it will jump out of
Yes.
here, jump out of the switch, jump out of the function in its totality. Yes, great. Okay, so after I've done number one plus number two, what's next?
You can say case minus on double
Case.
quotes.
Okay.
Then you can return number one minus number two.
Okay. And then?
Yeah, and along with those multiplies and divide.
Okay. Okay, and then?
Yeah, and you can call your function outside by assigning it to a variable, I think, because this one, it's a returning method, so it will need to be stored somewhere.
Okay, how do we do that? What line number?
Yeah, go outside your function.
Here?
Yes, and maybe declare a new variable that will have the function as. Okay,
Tell me exactly what.
Okay, let output maybe.
Okay.
Equals to calculator, then num1, num2, and operator inside.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and then maybe you can have your console.log that has the total, okay, maybe the addition or the what, I don't know, maybe you choose the operation. Okay, the total is output.
What was I?
Output on the console.log. Console.log.
Okay. And,
yeah, you can maybe have the total is the output is yes. Then the output is.
And then?
Yeah, I believe that is all.
And then what do we do now?
You can run the program.
Okay. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
All right. Okay, let's try something else. Don't go away. Is that also correct?
Yes, I believe so. 48 times 3.
Okay.
Yes, it's still correct.
Mr. Caesar, I'll take some questions.
Yeah, I'm back now. I see Senzo has his hand raised.
All right, let's tackle it. Come through,
Senzo. Okay. Maybe we need to move on. Who else?
Any questions?
Okay. I guess there are no questions. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, we can move on, but it's 12 now.
Okay. So let's pick it up tomorrow and do different types of loops.
Oh, he says his mic is
Do some
muted.
looping. Can you hear
Ron
me?
Ronald has a question.
All right.
Can you enable him to talk? Therefore,
Alright.
Hi guys, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to ask on the switch case because there we don't have a default. So on the operator there, if you put like a / there, or on maybe just put a 9 instead, just put 9 in there. Yeah.
So undefined. Undefined. How would you fix this situation, Ronald?
You need to add default, and then console log or return a message to
Okay.
say invalid
Tell,
operator.
tell us exactly what line, what to do.
After line 238.
Uh-huh.
Write default just below.
Mm-hmm.
And then console log invalid operator.
Okay. All right, and then?
Yeah, you can run it.
Okay. It's undefined.
We
Why
have
do you
it.
think
Sorry.
Why do you think it's giving us undefined?
Let's see. It's on the output, not on inside the switch case. So let's call the function alone before console login there, and let's see. Just
Tell me what.
on line 245, comment out that line.
Okay. All right. I hear you. And then?
Yeah, and then let's console log on 244. Remove let output and just that calculator num2 and operator console log all that, and let's see.
So what must I do? Repeat that.
From let output you can remove that and that equal sign.
Okay.
Yeah, console log that.
I must put all of it in console log.
Yeah.
Okay. Invalid operator, undefined.
Because I see it says invalid operator and then it's saying undefined. So I'm not sure where that is running from. It's running out, or it's running outside the function that undefined. So inside the switch case, seems like it works.
Let's do this to see if it's. Let's add another. Let me say. We had one here before, didn't we? This is the end. It's fine. We'll just say this 2 is an end. So we know that what hasn't run before this.
Yeah, or you can also add break just above default, and let's see.
Above default. Here.
Yeah, just above, just right break. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay.
Remove that line, return, and let's console log. I just want to see what's going, because I'm not sure what's going on. That line that says 238, can comment it out and console log instead.
And
yeah, let's just leave it like let's run here because I want to see where that invalid it's coming from. Can run it.
Okay.
Still doing the same thing.
Yeah. Do you wanna get a collaborator?
Yeah, someone can assist, and then let's see.
Lucy?
Hi guys. Can you guys hear
Hey,
me?
how are you? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome stuff. I think the problem is that on line 241, instead of console logging, we're supposed to be returning that because by default, a function returns undefined when there's no return statement. So because on 241, instead of returning, we are console logging, then what then gets returned from the function is undefined, which we then store it, then print it out. So that's why we were printing undefined.
All right. So, okay. Sounds great to me. Help me change. Where must I make the changes?
So on line 241, instead of console
241?
logging,
Yeah.
241 console logging, just return that string.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that should do
Okay.
it.
Should we run it?
Yep. Yeah.
Is it
So
working?
then, yeah, on 245 now, we can see that it's actually printing out invalid operator instead of undefined.
Yes. So we don't need a break if we have a return, because the return basically does the same thing as break, but even more, because the break would just break us out on the switch. But if you do a return, it breaks you out of the whole function itself.
Correct.
Okay, I see now.
Okay. And if we change it here to divide. All right. Are you happy with that?
Yes, seems to work.
All right. Thank you, guys. Senzo, come through.
Yes, man. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, can we go back to the code?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so let's go up to the numbers.
Give me a line number, Senzo.
Okay, so on 223, put 3.
223, put 3.
Yes.
All right.
And then on 224, put 0.
0. All right.
Yes, and then run it.
Cool. I love these test cases. This is what I'm talking about. Crazy test cases, normal test cases, bad test cases. Okay. Infinity.
Yeah, so meaning on the case for the division sign, we didn't bargain. We didn't finish English. Okay, let's just write the code.
Say, speak in your language.
Even with my language, I don't know how to put it. So with the
Okay,
code,
all
it
right.
will make sense.
Okay. I just wanna. Does anyone want to give it a shot?
No, let's write the code and then you will see.
Okay. The explanation is also important. Tabliso, if you can, why do you think?
I think on the input he just added in, he can just maybe write an if statement out of the return and say if number divided by, okay, if number 2 is equal to 0.
Wait, But
Yeah.
tell us why. Tell us what's the problem, because he wants to give us the code. He has the code as well.
Yeah, the problem is the
what-
zero division.
The zero division.
Divide by zero, yes.
Yes, sometimes you might get a situation where num2 is a 0.
Yes.
Okay, Senzo, how do we fix it?
Okay, so to control that from happening, you say you do an if statement whereby you say if
Tell me
num2.
exactly where. Tell me exactly where to type, and I'll do it.
Okay, on 238.
238. Yes.
Yes. So you can start off by saying num2 is not equals to 0.
So I remove this.
No, you write
What
it
do I
after the return.
I write it after the return.
No, like between the return and the number 1.
Here.
Yes. So you write number
Okay.
2.
So I remove this.
No.
I just start writing number 2 here in the middle.
Yes. Yes.
Number 2. Yes.
And then you said not equals to 0.
Not equal to 0.
And then you use a question mark.
Nice. Uh-huh.
Yes, so it will and then you include the string.
String? What string?
After the division of number 1 and number 2.
I add a string.
Yes, so you write a colon first.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you write cannot divide by 0.
Cannot divide by 0. All right.
Then
What do we do?
Yeah, you can test.
Okay. Cannot divide by 0. All right. Talk us through, what did you do here? This is amazing. What did you do here?
Okay, so here, this thing, it tests whether the number 2 is not equals to 0. So if the number is not equals to 0, then it does the division for number 1 and number 2. But if number 2 is a 0, then it takes out the string instead.
Awesome. So it takes us back to the ternary operator we did before. Let's just try and look at the syntax again. No. If I could ever find it, here it is. Okay, so we have our condition. It's a question. And if this condition is true, you do number 1. If this condition is false, you do number 2. That's an awesome edit. Okay. Anyone else before we wrap up? Yes, Karabo?
Good day. I wanted to add this thing, the Senzo.
Okay.
Yeah. So like for the test cases, so what if the user inputs float numbers?
Wait,
like this
tell me.
number.
Tell me where, so we can all see. Where
Like
should I
this.
add it?
So mm, so you need to convert. I don't know where you need to convert. You need to convert the inputs to the numbers before you can use them. I don't know where. Yeah, you can convert them in where you pass them. You can convert them inside there. You see there when line 228.
Yeah.
line 2 to 8, you can say number must be an integer. Yeah, it must be an integer using the past end method. As past end. Yeah, past end. So you need to convert those numbers to be integers, strictly integers.
Okay.
So
So you're worried if it's a float. Okay. Which one of these must I make a float?
just make the number two. Just make it 0.5. Yes.
0.5. And then we test.
Yeah.
It says 6. The answer is 6.
See, 0.5, the answer is 6. Then
Yes, 3 divided by 0.5.
Divided by 0.5. Okay. Oh yeah. Most is working, most. But for user case situations, you need to just convert. And I agree, you need to have the strict what do they call that? Strict input. Like if you wanna enter a number, you wanna enter a number. If you wanna enter a float, you wanna enter a float. So, but for this user case, it is going to work even if you don't convert.
Yes, because we're making a calculator.
Yes.
Because with the calculator, we use decimals and
Yes.
whole integers. Yeah. So that's a good catch, but it brings us back to I forgot who said it before when we were doing grades. I think it was Nelson.
Ma'am, what if the that number, the denominator is like what if we get a recurring number? Yeah, what if we get a recurring number?
Okay, so let's do that. So let's do 1/3. And then, so let's see how it goes. Can you see the output?
Yes, ma'am.
It cuts it off after a certain amount of digits.
Yes. So it's giving us a recurring number now.
Yes, which is good because remember we're making a calculator. So even a
Okay.
calculator
So,
still
yeah,
displays.
we need to cater for decimal and integers. We need to cater for both decimal and float numbers.
Yeah, and it does. Or do you think it doesn't?
No, it does. It does.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Joseph. Okay, Joseph, you'll be the last one. So we need to wrap up. It's already 12:30. Come through, Joseph.
Hi. I just remembered something from earlier when we were discussing when we were doing the marks question.
Yes. Yes.
I remember someone mentioned the topic of negative numbers, and I just remembered that you can actually use the absolute operator to sort of handle
Bring it to
negative
0.
case situations.
Okay. Do you want to showcase for us one last?
Like let's say, let's go to let's make the marks or the grader a negative number.
Okay. Yeah.
Then what do you call it? I don't know if it was in this case or in the second one. I'm trying to remember. I know we can use absolute. I'm just trying to remember exactly how to use it, or where to input it.
Does anybody want to come along?
Would it be where it says let grade score equals to marks? Then we could say marks dot absolute, and then parentheses.
Sorry, please give me a line number.
Or no, that's not it. Because above we said grade is equal to minus 90. Okay, can you scroll down a bit more?
Okay.
A bit more. Then you see where it says grade score there, 122.
Yes. Yes.
Could we then say grade score dot abs dot I think it's ABS?
So where do I put the dot here?
No, inside, next to the grade.
Next to the grade.
Yes, dot absolute.
Okay, do you want me to help you out?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh
Hi,
yeah.
just to remind you, we have a meeting at 12:45.
12:45, yes. Joseph is the last one. He wanted to show us absolute.
I forgot about the math dot abs. Yes. So that should then
Change it into a positive value.
yeah.
Okay. Just in case somebody accidentally put a minus. So
Yes.
if it was minus 90, you have a positive 90.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So just a thing to think about, maybe putting it to 0 might be best because we don't know if the person really got minus, let's say they got -5 because they haven't been handing in work, they've lost some things. We can rather move it, rather than giving them extra points, we can just move it to 0.
Right. That makes sense. Thank you.
All right. No, thank you, you guys. You guys were really awesome. Tomorrow we are going to be hitting up those loops, and then we're going to connect these documents, these JavaScript files, with our HTML, so that we can just do some fun stuff to see stuff on the browser, how that is going to play out. I really appreciate all the interactions, and we are going to be doing more crazier stuff tomorrow. I'll catch you live tomorrow at 9 to 12. Thank you, everybody, for pulling through. Thank you, Caesar, for having my back. And yeah, have a good afternoon, you guys. Thanks, Caesar.
All right, guys, see you tomorrow. Yeah, keep practicing. Ciao.